I'm going to share with you my philosophy on making the raw acoustic tracks that I recorded last week sound a little bit more polished and professional to my ear. So everything that I show you in this channel is intended to help you develop your own systems and philosophies as it pertains to recording, mixing, etc. So I don't encourage you to just copy these settings if you like the sound, but to figure out what type of sound you're actually drawn to in your own productions. So if you're recording acoustic guitar, what do you want it to sound like? Do you want it to have a really full sound? Do you want it to be really thin? Is it in a dense mix? Is it just a singer-songwriter with a vocal and acoustic guitar? The first thing I would pull up is an EQ. So here I'm taking out a bunch of the low frequency because I thought it sounded too boomy. There was too much bass to it. This frequency here, I thought that kind of sounded like you're talking through a blanket, kind of like that. So I took a little bit of that out because I thought it sounded horrible. So, and then here, this is kind of an aggressive cut, and that's where when I was switching chords, you could hear a guitar shriek, and it spiked right here. So I took out this frequency, and then I also automated the volume down a little bit in that same spot. And then here around 10K, I did a shelf to boost the top end. After doing this cut, it started to sound like it was lacking a little bit, so this kind of made up for that. After EQ, I bring up a compressor. I just think it sounds good to run audio through this thing. It glues it together. After the compressor, I brought this clariphonic equalizer. This kind of adds some more of that top end shimmer that I spoke about with the EQ. So it just adds a little bit more of that with this clarity knob here. And then after that, I brought up this mastering limiter by Slate just to make it louder for you to hear on YouTube. So the last thing I did was put a little reverb on both tracks. Just a slight amount helped, to me it helped make it sound a little bit warmer and less sterile, and I like that. So all these things were actually pretty subtle. The most notable thing you're probably going to hear is the mastering limiter brings up the volume. But other than that, the EQ and compression is actually quite subtle.